Oh, good evening, good evening. It was almost a great evening, and I have to say a massive thank you to Aston Villa for keeping Liverpool to a 1-1 draw. If they'd have just managed to hold on for the end of that game, or if Ollie Watkins would have scored that penalty, we could be sitting here right now talking about Manchester United in the Champions League for next season. However, Liverpool were able to get a 90th minute equaliser through Bobby Firmino on his final game at Anfield, and fair play to him. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the Liverpool players, but I've always liked Bobby Firmino, so fair play for him for getting his goal. But what all that means after a 1-0 win for Manchester United is that we now just need one more point from two home games against two teams a stone throw away from each other to secure Champions League football for next year. And quite frankly, I spoke about it for the last few weeks, that if we didn't get Champions League football, it'd be an absolute travesty. And from this position, it's surely seemingly impossible that we're not going to get at least 1 point from Chelsea at home and Fulham at home. I know they are two good teams on their day, but surely it is all but secured now. Just need to get one more good home performance win. We have a very good home record this season, and we have the best defensive home record this season. So that's the way we have to look at it. One more clean sheet this season, and we are in the Champions League for next season. So I am a lot more optimistic than I was a couple of hours ago. It's been a very nervy last half hour watching those last 15 minutes of the Manchester United game and then the last 10 minutes of the Liverpool game. But we're in a position now that I really hope we would be in, and thankfully it should now all be over. Let's talk about the game itself. 1-0 victory away at Bournemouth, and I have to say, for the first 25 minutes of the game, I really thought it was one of our best performances, if not our best start to a game that we've had all season. The passing, the rhythm of the play, everyone getting involved all over the pitch. It was the sort of football that I was expecting to see from Erik ten Hag over the course of this season, something that we've not seen enough of, and everyone was getting on the ball. The passes from Eriksen, Casemiro, Bruno, Sancho, Martial when he dropped in, and even Anthony at times. He wasn't being as direct and shooting as often as he normally was in those first 25 minutes. We were absolutely flowing. It was fantastic to watch, and the only disappointment was that once again, we were only able to score one goal in that period of time, and albeit an absolutely fantastic goal from Casemiro, beautifully flighted ball from Eriksen. It looked like Casemiro was going to score initially. Senesi was just about able to get a foot on it, but Casemiro, being the world-class player that he is, adjusts his body, overhead kick, straight into the top corner. I'll say straight into the top corner, off the post, and that was enough to secure the win. And that has to go down to the performances of what I will call the back six for the purposes of this game, because the moment we hit 25 minutes, the performance dropped off. And that's a real shame, because like I say, we were absolutely flying in those opening 25 minutes. And look, we're trying to get to a position where we can challenge for league titles, challenge for major trophies, and we have to look at a performance that Manchester City put in against Real Madrid the other night and say that they can maintain that level of performance for an entire 90 minutes. Certainly for the full first half anyway. And we couldn't do that again. And that's a real shame, because it really shows how much work is still needed at Manchester United to get us to that next level. And like I say, once we hit 25 minutes, chances started to come. And that's where the back six really stepped up to the plate. Casemiro, defensively, phenomenal. Got himself his goal as well. He probably takes the Man of the Match award for today, but there's a few candidates in that back line that run him a very close second. Wan-Bissaka, absolutely immaculate again. Perfect defensively. He's a lot more improved on the ball as well this season. I think he is fastly becoming one of the best right-backs in world football right now, and I'm hoping and praying that he gets his opportunity with England over the coming weeks. He's certainly going to be in my suggestions when I get to doing that video. Varane, 2 clean sheets in 2 games after he's come back into the side. What an impact he's made. Victor Lindelof, another contender for Man of the Match. Another incredible performance from him, proving why we absolutely need to be keeping him for next season. And look, I know we're being linked with the likes of Kim Min-jae. Some saying the deal's already done. We've met the buyout clause already and we're talking to him. But I would hate to see Victor Lindelof become fourth choice centre-back at Manchester United because he is a phenomenal defender and deserves this opportunity to play as often as possible. And Luke Shaw as well. Got a little bit tested by Ouattara in the second half, but he played fantastically on his side as well. And I always have to say it when he has a good game. I thought David De Gea was fantastic today. He made crucial saves at key points in the game. Granted, I'd say all but one save is a pretty simple save. They're saves you would expect a goalkeeper to make, but he still has to make them. And where he's made a mistake against West Ham a couple of weeks ago, he's made a good save down to his left-hand side, using his left hand, something I'm very critical of him at times. Made a good save with his left hand, a crucial one-on-one in the not 90th minute, about the 85th minute of the game. Kiefer Moore broke the defensive line for the first time. De Gea made himself relatively big. He didn't shrink himself down like he did for that Cody Gakpo chance. He made himself as big as he probably could, made a crucial save, and at the end of the day, it's another clean sheet for him, but he's actually earned this clean sheet this time by making 3 or 4 very good saves, and it's another clean sheet to go towards his Golden Glove for this season. And if we do keep 2 more clean sheets in the remaining 2 games, I would say 18 clean sheets from 38 games, 1 short of half, would be a phenomenal achievement for the Manchester United defence and goalkeeper. Other than that, I don't really think there's too much to say. As I said, certain players I thought could have done better. I thought Bruno Fernandes had a very poor game after what's been a very good run of form for him. I thought Antony had dropped off in his level of performance today. As I said, first 25 minutes when he was linking up the play, he was playing fantastic. But then, as our performance dropped off, his sort of selfishness started taking over again. He was taking on the left back and the left centre back at times, ignoring simple passes to Bruno Fernandes, started taking shots, and yeah, he was rightfully taken off in the second half. Martial, I think, probably could have done better. I was surprised to see him substituted when he was, and clearly he was upset as well, and we can talk about that in the comments if you want, whether or not it was the right decision to take him off at that point in time. I thought he was doing okay without being particularly amazing, and an unfortunate stat that I heard on commentary during the game is that is now over 3 years, 3 calendar years, since Anthony Martial has scored in back-to-back Premier League games. Now, that is a serious concern, and obviously even more justification and vindication that we do need to sign a striker in the summer. Harry Kane at the top of my list after another great goal from him today and another shocking Tottenham performance. So that would be the one thing I'd say. And the one thing I would say is I think I saw a lot of criticism for Jadon Sancho today, which I thought was really harsh. I thought Sancho had a pretty good game. He was doing what he does best, getting on the ball, playing passes, little touches round the corner. For me, he's just not a winger. If Bruno's having a bad game, I think what we should be doing is taking Bruno off, moving Sancho into the middle of the pitch and putting Garnacho on. Because Garnacho was a threat from the moment he came on the pitch, and I'll be expecting Garnacho to start against Chelsea in midweek. But the game that Bruno Fernandes was having, I just would have liked to have seen Bruno be the one come off, see Jadon Sancho moved into that central role and put Garnacho out wide. Because I thought Sancho was wrongfully taken off today. I thought he was having a relatively good impact on the game. He's just not quick enough to play wide, in my opinion. But all round, at the end of the day, it's another victory. It's a 1-0 win. It's 3 points, and it's another clean sheet. And we are just 1 point away from securing Champions League football for next season. If we can get that against Chelsea, I really expect us to get that against Chelsea in midweek. We can then look forward to the Fulham game at the weekend purely with the FA Cup final in mind, where, let's be honest, we're going to have to find something we haven't shown for a very long while to get a result against Manchester City. But we have the opportunity to just spend this week building something up for that FA Cup final, because I think there's an awful lot of pressure lifted off of our shoulders after the result at Anfield today. So, as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's been a crazy day's action in terms of the Premier League already. Should we be signing Harry Kane after what you saw in the Tottenham game? Is the Champions League now more than certainly secured thanks to our win and Liverpool's dropped points? What team would you like to see put out against Chelsea? Would you be playing Martial or Weghorst? Would you like to, is Rashford going to be available? Should Sancho or Garnacho be starting? And honestly, is Casemiro our player of the season? Because that's the one thing I never actually spoke about. It's going to be the blooming title of the video, and I've not actually spoken about it till now. Casemiro, in my opinion, has cemented his spot as our player of the season this season and is still my pick for all-round Premier League signing of the season in terms of overall impact he has made to the football club. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back for my next reactions video as soon as the Chelsea game finishes in a few days' time. I'll see you then.